I hope these practical life hacks can help you. 1. Drill 4 small holes in a plastic bottle cap. Then insert 4 different sizes of screwdriver heads into them. Fill the cap with strong adhesive, and once it cools and hardens, you'll have a portable multifunctional screwdriver. 2. Use a nail to secure a piece of soft hose to a wooden board, then thread the electrical wire through it and hammer the nail tight to secure the cable firmly. 3. This is a tree planting tip my grandfather taught me. Bury a fish along with the sapling in the hole. Cover it with soil and water it a bit to increase the sapling's survival rate. 4. Use a lighter to heat the bottle cap, then poke a sharp corner with a nail. After it cools, cut off the sharp end with scissors and screw the cap tight to create a practical spice bottle. 5. Cut off the top of a plastic bottle, trim it evenly, then cut off 1/4 of the bottle vertically. Drill a small hole in the middle and secure it to the wall with a screw to create a useful hook. 6. When using tape, it's always hard to find the end. We can use a toothpick to scratch in one direction, and when we feel a bump, we found the tape end. 7. If a key breaks off in the lock, don't panic. Melt a plastic glue stick with a lighter, then press it into the lock hole. Once it cools, you can pull out the broken key. 8. Add a spoonful of white sugar, some white vinegar, and warm water to the kettle. Shake it well and let it sit for 10 minutes, and the lime scale inside will come off, making the kettle clean again. Have you learned these clever and practical life hacks? These inconspicuous life hacks surprisingly have such amazing uses. 1. Cut off the top half of a balloon, then continuously fold it inward to form a ring, and place it on a water pipe to create a simple yet practical sealing ring. 2. Remove the nozzle from a shampoo bottle, pull out the tube, place it in the center of the bottle cap, secure it with hot glue, and attach double-sided tape to the bottom before installing it behind a door as a useful bumper. 3. If the soles of your slippers are worn down, making them slippery, take off the shoes and apply some wavy hot glue to the bottom. Once it cools and hardens, the slippers won't slip anymore. 4. Glue a bolt in the middle of a bottle cap. Fill it with hot glue, let it cool, then pass the bolt through a small hole in a wooden board and tighten it with a nut to repair the cabinet door handle. 5. Insert cooled hot glue into the small hole of a wrench, then place a nut inside. This allows the wrench to reach into tight spaces to tighten screws. 6. Remove the bottom of a plastic bottle, unscrew the cap, cut off the top half of a balloon, and place it over the bottle opening, then put nuts inside. By pulling and releasing the balloon, you can get the nut meat. 7. Fold a wire to form a circle. Place it on a water pipe, and use pliers to twist the ends tight. This makes the water pipe very securely fixed. 8. Add a suitable amount of dish soap, warm water, and white vinegar to a bottle, shake well, and spray it on a dusty fan. Then cover it with a plastic bag, turn it on for 10 minutes, and after removing the bag, the fan will be clean. Have you learned these clever and practical life hacks? Smart, you must master these practical life hacks. 1. If the power goes out at home, don't panic. Add 1/3 of rice, water, and cooking oil to a cup, then insert a wick. Once lit, it is said to burn for 7 days without extinguishing. 2. Use a wrench to bend the nails in the wooden board, then hammer the nails into the board. This way, you won't have to worry about the nails hurting anyone. 3. Tie 3 small magnets to the electric wire, and then tuck them behind the wooden board. You can easily use a larger magnet to attract the wire to the desired position. 4. Put shrimp into an empty mineral water bottle, fill it with water, tighten the cap, and store it in the fridge. They will stay fresh for a year. 5. Stick a spoon to the camera, and even if you are miles away, you can feed your pet. 6. When the thread won't go through the needle's eye, fold the thin thread around the needle once, and it will easily pass through the needle's eye. 7. Make a small hole in the cap of a mineral water bottle. Insert a cotton swab, then use tape to secure 2 sticks to the bottle. Once filled with water, you have an automatic watering tool. 8. This is the simplest grafting method. Drill a hole in the tree, strip a ring of bark from the grafting branch, insert it into the hole, and wrap it with plastic film. This grafting method has a very high success rate. Have you learned these clever and practical life hacks? Everyone should learn these practical life hacks. 1. It's wrong to simply wrap tape around a broken pipe. We should separate the pipe, cut both ends at an angle, then insert the 2 pieces together firmly. After that, wrap tape around it for reinforcement, and the pipe won't leak. 2. If a child playfully binds their wrist with a zip tie, using scissors or a knife to cut it can easily cause injury. We just need to use pliers to pinch the safety tab of the zip tie, and it will come off easily. 3rd, remove 2 pieces of old chain of the same length with tools. Then place the chain at the joint of 2 wooden boards. After tightening the screws, you have a practical hinge. 4. It can be very difficult to open the lid of a paint can. We can cut the top half off an empty bottle and fit it onto the paint can, then use a heat gun to shrink the plastic bottle, so that when using the paint, you only need to twist off the lid. 5. Use a saw blade to remove the neck of a plastic bottle, fit it onto a stick, and secure it with a screw. Then, saw off the broken part of the broom, fix a bottle cap with a screw, and finally tighten the stick and bottle cap together to repair the broom. 6. When organizing electrical wires, simply wrapping them can easily lead to them falling off. First, fold a small section of the wire, then wrap the wire, and finally pull it through the loop to secure it. 7. Fold a rope in half and pass it through a lock ring, then flip the rope back up. A simple and practical knot is done. 8. Tie a zip tie in the middle of a roll of tape, then use scissors to cut a pointed edge. This way, when using the tape, you can cut it with the zip tie. Have you learned these clever and practical life hacks? Many people are still unaware of these practical life hacks. 1. Cut one end of a plastic tube into 4 equal parts with a saw, heat it with a heat gun, then insert a light bulb to screw it into a highlight socket. 2. If the broom head comes loose, put a balloon over the connection and cut off the bottom half of the balloon to tighten the stick. 3rd. Place a CD on a wooden board with its edge pressed against the wall, then place a pen in the middle and draw a line along the wall's curve. After cutting off the drawn part, the board will fit snugly against the wall. 4. Stick a piece of double-sided tape on the tip of a drill, then attach a piece of sandpaper to use it for sharpening the drill bit. 5. Use pliers to cut off the sharp points of a thumbtack, then flatten it with a hammer to easily turn the small screws on the glass's frame. 6. If a glass jar lid is too tight to open, fold a rope and pass it through the small hole of a wrench. You can use the leverage principle to twist off the lid. 7. If the charging port of your phone is blocked, inject hot glue into the port, and once it cools, you can remove the blockage. 8. Inject hot glue into a nut. Let it cool and solidify. Then secure it to the wooden board of a closet to create a sturdy support. Have you learned these clever and practical life hacks?